Is time. Welcome to DevOps Party Games. Because if we don't laugh at DevOps, we would probably cry and also forget to start the captioner. But I just fixed that. We are captioning. This is the DevOpsDays Portland special exhibition edition of DevOps Party Games, which means that this is an unranked game. So, a player's performances will not count towards their position on the thought leaderboard unless I change my mind and do it anyway, because we take this stuff super seriously. I am your host, Maddie Stratton. Not joining me as host is Jeremy Meese, who usually is one of our co-hosts, but he's on an airplane apparently going to DevOpsDays Houston, so we apparently know who he loves more. That said, we also have some great players, which I'll introduce in just a second. But if you've tuned in before, if you're a fan of DevOps Party Games, those two things are not necessarily the same. Welcome back. If you're your first time joining us, I'm going to explain a little bit about how the show works. And, if you're joining us as just part of DevOpsDays Portland, welcome. And we hope you tune into future episodes. Today, we're going to be playing two games, Quiplash and Drawful. And however, what we've done is we've customized the content of these games to make them a little DevOps or tech related. And our fantastic set of players are going to strive to entertain you, or at least we'll entertain ourselves. And we do ask that all players and chat participants abide by our code of conduct, which you can find at DevOpsPartyGames.com. And of course, I shouldn't say of course, I'm just going to make it clear that the DevOpsDays Portland code of conduct also is in effect. And yes, we do have a code of conduct. Usually we say DevOps Party Games is rated M for mature. Given that it's kind of the middle of the day, we're going a little more TV 14 here, but we'll see how it goes. And during each game, you, the audience, if you're watching this, you are the audience. Welcome. You'll find a little icon that might look like a package overlaid on the Twitch video. And this is how you can join the audience, which is confusing because you're like, hey, I already joined the audience when I logged into Twitch. Well, there's another level. There's layers. But joining the audience is how you participate by voting for your favorite answers, which absolutely influences the game and the results. You can also load up Jackbox.tv in a web browser. Your phone works great for this, and we'll walk you through how to do that. This does influence the outcome of the game. And if you're tweeting about the show, and we hope you do, use the hashtag DevOps Party Games. But let's get to this. So we're going to introduce our contestants and our players. So first, welcome back to the show, Nashnika. You're on mute.
Opa, she's back. Noshnika's back. Hi, everyone. I'm Noshnika. I specialize in serverless. You can find me on Twitter at serverlessmom. That's my whole plug. Thanks so much for having me. Also, I can't draw.
Yeah. Also, I didn't even tell the rest of the contestants that I was going to introduce them and they should have a thing to say. You don't have to say a whole lot of things. You can if you want. Just no pressure. Also joining us, a returning, shall we even say fan favorite? One of my favorites, not just because we're coworkers, Laura.
Hey there, everybody. I'm back. And I'm the one who made that lovely scoreboard, though I haven't touched it in a really long time. Sorry, Maddie. And I really wish that this was on the scoreboard, but, it's okay. But I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me. And my drawing may not be great, but we will see how funny I can be.
Cool. And then joining us as well is Britt. Welcome to the show, Britt.
Hey there, people. I'm Britt. I've never been on this show before, but I'm really excited. Also, every once in a while, my cat will probably do something weird in the background, so that's fun. Also, not good at drawing.
Perfect. It's sometimes less fun if you are. Also, next up on our list is Alexis. Welcome to DevOps Party Games.
Hello, everyone. My name's Alexis. I'm excited to be here. I've also never been here before, but I'm excited to join, and we'll see how good I am at drawing. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go.
And Eric is also joining us today.
Hello, glad to be here. Another first-time participant, probably worse than Laura and Britt at drawing.
And, at this point, I like managing expectations. Everyone's very good at this, right? Amber, welcome to DevOps Party Games.
Hello, thanks for having me. I'm also a first-time player here. My father was an artist, but it skipped a generation, so my daughter's great.
And Kato, welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm Kato, and I'm a developer advocate with Apache Flink. And you can find me on Twitter at Kato_200_OK. And I guess my drawing caveat today is that everything is broken. So I just have a very old mouse. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, thanks so much for having me on here today.
And wrapping us up is Aaron.
Hey, if you're coming from the conference, you might remember me from the talk that just happened. I'm Aaron. You can find me at Crazy, spelled like how you see it in the chat, on Twitter and other places. And hi.
Okay. Sorry, I was just giving a little bit of tech support in the chat. The question was, how does the audience play along? We'll explain a little bit more, but you should see a little kind of right now hovering over my head. Looks like a little brown paper package. And then if you were to click on it, you'll see a button to say join the audience. And then when there's something to do, it'll prompt you. If you choose to not do it that way, don't worry. We'll tell you how you can also vote once we get started. So I'm going to go ahead and players, go ahead and join the game. You should see in the screen share. If you players go to jackbox.tv, type in that code. Please don't read it out loud because that would just make this a lot more chaotic, but maybe that's not a problem. And for this game, Quiplash that's about to start. Okay, everybody's in. Cool. We'll get going. The players are all going to get on their device two different prompts. They might be a fill in the blank. They might be an answer to a question. And they're going to get the same prompt as one other player. And then after they put in what they think is the best answer, and best is, it's relative. Both the players and then you, the audience, will vote on which is the best, and the word best again being relative. Here's the thing. The audience tends to be fairly influential in this game, so pandering to your audience, highly recommended as a strategy.
I did just want to say, if I just want to mention to the audience, I love you.
The other thing to bear in mind, because it's funny, is as much as we've been doing DevOps party games for over a year at this point, and Jeremy and I never noticed this thing that Tierney pointed out to us when they were on recently, is in all the Jackbox games, the scores in each round increment so much that the first round almost doesn't matter. So the good thing is you'll have 2 rounds plus a final round of Quiplash. So if you kind of still getting your DevOps party games legs under you, so to speak, don't worry about it. They'll always have a chance to come back. That's not to say that if you don't dominate in the first round that you shouldn't feel good about yourself. Never let me steal joy from anybody, except maybe Jeremy, who's not even here to defend himself. So a couple other things, again, as I've said, if this is new to you, make sure you check out DevOpsPartyGames.com to see about upcoming episodes. We do these sometimes exhibition ones, but we do generally run a ranked game once a month. We're having a couple. We took a little bit of the summer off, and we are doing another one in 2 weeks from today as part of DevOps Loop, which is another great DevOps conference, not nearly as great as DevOpsDays Portland, because how could it be? And if you'd like to be notified about when we have upcoming things, we have a mailing list. I put the link in the chat. I can assure you that we do not spam you, because most of the time I forget we even have a mailing list to send things to you. So you're going to complain about not getting enough email from me. But that said, here we go. Britt and Aaron, get your answers in.
I didn't realize it had started, so this is.
Oh, didn't realize it had started? No. Okay, well, let's see.
I'm over here
first,
looking at the audience.
Okay, what does ITIL really stand for? I think I'll leave, or I think I lost my server. Audience, again, if you don't use the overlay, if you go to jackbox.tv and put in that WPLA code, that'll get you where you got to go.
All right.
And I think, did I remember? Oh, no. Hey, I remember.
There we go.
It is on the screen. You should see it.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
Good
I'm
one.
so sorry.
Good.
Oh no. Oh boy, if I screwed this up. I did not switch to the right. Oh my God.
Oh, we got
Thank
it.
God
We got it
Jeremy's
now.
not watching.
Yeah, that was a whole.
Okay, audience, my apologies. My apologies. I was not actually including you in the game. We were just playing by ourselves. You should see actually what you're voting for. We got you there, but what's an unanticipated consequence of attending reInvent? Serverless fever or regular fever? And probably forgetting
Nice.
100% of the new AWS logos.
Ooh, so I guess the question becomes, is that for this year or just reInvent in general?
I mean,
Because-
it's actually,
Ooh.
to be fair, it probably applies to all of them.
Yeah.
Audience,
Very
I was
nice.
right to trust you.
Okay.
There you go.
What is the real reason that Git repo is 22 gig? The Epic League Tarball, or it was me?
I think it's just the DevOps
Isn't that
Days
a-
web. Isn't that the DevOps Days web repo?
You know, the funny thing is when I put this in, Aaron, I remembered you actually complaining about it being about that size. And I was like,
Which is
wow.
literally 2 gigs, though.
Yeah. It's 2 gigs, not 22. All right. It's fine. It's reasonable.
Right. That's an order of magnitude less.
Like in the chat, Longcheng says, I uploaded my consciousness and it was only 22 gig.
Just a lot
Nice.
of stuff about
Good job.
YouTube in there.
Oh, hey, Frosty. I didn't know you were here.
All right.
Okay. What is it, DevOps? Wake up, Aaron.
Oh no.
Well, oh, but it's actually so
was
this
a
was
safety.
great. It was a safety quip anyway, so we got through there.
Oh, man.
So Frosty, who's in the chat, is one of our other DevOps Party Games co-hosts. So SLO really stands for slow Leah or seriously late ongoing.
Nice.
We're off to a fun start. Okay.
We're having a good time.
So make sure yep, we've got so I'm looking here, I'm seeing, there's like we have looks like about 7 or 8 people have joined the audience, but there's more than that watching the stream. So
Yep.
again,
Join
if
the
Jeremy
audience.
was here co-hosting, he would be aggressively yelling at you for not doing
I
this.
just want to emphasize being in the audience, it's the most important job there is. Obviously,
Yeah.
huge amount of respect for every audience member.
It's the most fun you can have while not playing the game.
The real reason Google got rid of Google Reader is not enough people to integrate
Wow.
with Wave. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
I miss
There's only
Google Wave.
okay, 3 audience votes. Come on. Jackbox.
They're coming in. They're coming in. They're coming in.
WPLA. You can do it. It'll be fun.
Hey, audience, if you choose to participate or not, just know that I've got your back and I care
There you
about you.
Are you going to end all your answers with like a little dash in so that
Pander.
Hey, what is your strategy for winning DevOps party games? Hey, audience, just
Yep.
wanted to say I love you. Got team for votes. The meta pander is not to be
Yep.
underestimated. Yeah.
There it is.
Fun fact, I've noticed Twitch has a different interface in Stream Manager to how captions work. They look totally different than I'm used to.
Oh, it
So-
updated, huh?
I don't know, or maybe I've never paid attention. But it's like they're not overlaid, they're underneath. Good job, Nashnika, with the quiplash.
Ah!
Oh, yes.
Pander.
The trick is to not have shame.
So as we discussed, the first round doesn't really matter, but let's still find out who dominated in round 1 of Quiplash, and the answer is Nashnika.
Oh, look
Of
at that.
course. Of
I'm
course. There we
practicing
go.
this
Mom
theory
wins
that the
again.
first round doesn't matter. That's really what I wanted to do.
If you do well in the
Uh.
second round, you're okay, because the points are now doubled, right? So it's like that's totally
Yep,
fine.
here we go.
And we go in again. So now we've got everybody kind of,
Looking at it this
Aaron
time.
Aaron didn't even know we were playing, might be new to some people. I didn't actually stream the game. First round is in the books. It's behind us. We roll forward. We don't roll back, if you will. Or even if you won't, it's still happening. By the way, something I guess I didn't miss about travel that is the thing is being reminded by 17 different apps anytime something happens with my flight.
All
Getting
the
reminded from
notifications all the time.
texted from United, notified from United, texted from TripIt, notified from TripIt, and actually to do, you know what? To tell me that everything's fine.
Just so that you know, you do
Just
need
so
to
you
be at
know.
the airport. Just so that you know.
Yeah.
We noticed you're coming closer. We know you're coming, so therefore we'll make sure the door is open for you.
I appreciate their concern.
I mean, if they could actually make sure the door was open for me, I would be pretty happy about TripIt.
Yeah.
They need some proximity sensors, right? Like they can tell that your phone has passed underneath the door frame.
I had a
Hanging
sales
out.
rep I used to work with, like that I was a sales eng to her. And so we do all this. And there would be times she would be like, I'm almost there. Have them hold the door. I'm like, okay. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, throw my body in front of it? I'm like, I don't have that power. Be like, no, it's cool. She'll be right here.
Do me a big favor. Just hop up and say there's an old woman from colonial times on the wing.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and mention it.
Yeah. So what's the real reason cows don't use JavaScript?
Oh,
Cows need a real debugger, or they couldn't upgrade to Windows Longhorn. Ooh, nice.
Man.
very nice.
That's pretty good there.
Sharp.
Downtown.
I was going to say, we're getting into round 2. This is when everybody starts
Man.
to get a hang of the game, and off we go.
Old Windows code names will always get me.
We also, wow,
Oh.
yes.
Oh, man.
Oh,
The audience is
There
elderly.
you go.
right.
Thank you, elderly millennials.
So what is Slack's new
Oh,
slogan?
wow.
We're eating all your hammer. We're somewhere between
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Ouch.
sometimes
There
a
you go.
little too on the nose there.
Yeah, a little too much.
At least somebody didn't say Teams. I guess Teams just isn't in anybody's vernacular right now.
I was in a conversation at Riot Festival places about Office Communicator on Friday. So yeah, I
Ooh,
really know how
really?
to have a good time. Yeah.
Good job, Britt.
Great. Nice one.
Yeah.
That one was, they're both too real.
Yeah.
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 The only reason to use blockchain is if you're padding your resume or bragging rights, but just with that one coworker.
It's, this
I
is
mean,
almost the
padding your
same
resume
thing,
from-
though.
Sorry, Laura.
This is almost. You're okay. You can talk over me. It's fine. This is almost the same thing.
Yeah.
Just saying. Ooh, that
Wow.
audience favorite is what does it on
audience
that
Panel is
second
really
round.
split.
I'm telling
I
you,
just wanna
audience.
say, I totally support the audience's decision there. Just right on the money, as usual.
Wow. Yeah. This is good. Good. I love
Yes.
a good callback.
Call out to
I'm-
the audience.
I'm really torn between these two
Which is
here.
just a double callback.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're both callbacks. Yeah. So it's this is a tough one. I'm really interested to see how this
I have to admit,
lands.
I want to like change this to the best reason.
You need
Right, I
to.
was just thinking
Ask.
that.
Do you
Right?
need to ask
Yeah.
for more disk space though? We determined
And-
Trip's consciousness was only 22 gigs.
Right.
Wasn't
Yeah.
that the-
Oh,
Well, they're
I
both the
downloaded it
same
onto the
size.
system
hey,
partition.
Trip.
Well, if it helps, Eric, you got my vote on that one.
Thank you,
There we
sir.
go.
I'll be honest. I never got the hype around pandering to the audience.
Oh.
Thanks.
See,
I love
it
the
works.
captions like that.
There you go. You get all the
See?
points.
That worked out perfectly.
And hey, if we're gonna all get fired, we might as well get fired for this.
Commit YOLO. Yes.
200 gigabyte folder of Cat Gibson Edge. I'm telling you, that's actually somebody's, go to market though, probably. So
Probably. Fast delivery.
I mean,
of
git commit
reactions and
m
memes.
YOLO is maybe Mongo's go to market. I don't know.
Oh, these are both too good. It's hard to decide on this one.
I just want to
Yeah,
condense
it's fine.
the whole
Trip's like,
repo into one
this is-
commit.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's Trips GTM.
Finally know what on-prem public cloud stuff is
Yeah.
for. Yes.
Once again,
That's called-
audience.
Nice.
Goes correctly.
Nice.
That's called cloudless.
Good work, audience.
Yeah. When your CTO says this, time to update your resume. Yes, for all of
Oh. Ouch.
you. Yeah.
I've been
I
at that company.
I don't wanna-
Like, that hits too hard.
I don't want to influence, but I kind of sense a quiplash coming here. But
Savage. Wow.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on where you're, which murder you want to report. But yeah, that's sort of how I
Yeah,
thought
that
that was
could
going to
do
go.
it. It's a little spicy
Oh,
with
yeah,
that.
audience.
Went the other way, but not enough. All right, what is the new Y2K?
Oh.
Whoa.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
That one's sharp. That one is such a sharp one. Yeah. It does hurt. It does hurt so bad. I'm looking at the chat and there's lots of no.
No.
Oh, wait, is that happening from chat? Wow.
It got announced at the last reinvent.
Yeah, I was gonna say some news.
All
Sorry
right,
to be
so
the
we're
bearer of the
Noshnika
tidings.
stays. All right.
Nice.
Now we are coming
Impossible after
into
I just want you to know, everyone, this has
Paying attention.
gone to my head, and I no longer care about the audience's feelings. I've forgotten what got me where I am.
No
No.
more votes. No more votes.
So you are now going to get, each of you is going to get just one prompt, but it's a prompt that might have a 3-part answer, and you could construct that 3-part answer in whatever way makes the most sense to you. So remember, you'll have the same prompt as only one other person. You'll only get one. And I don't know how much percentage of points these are worth as well, but something tells me it's very unfair. But let's see. Let's go back and take a look at the. My favorite is somebody discovering about a Kubernetes deprecation happening, and the way they found out was DevOps Party Games. Kat will be so proud. I'll be so happy. I thought Kat's job was to be the harbinger of Kubernetes deprecation.
I have fulfilled my civic duty.
Yes, it was amazing. That being said, if this looks fun to you to be on DevOps Party Games, or you could think of someone who would be amazing to be on it, there's a link I just threw in the chat there. If you go to DevOpsPartyGames.com/suggest-player, you can suggest yourself or someone else, and that's pretty fun. And also, if you think my prompts are really bad and you'd like to submit some of your own, we have a form for that too. And because Frosty's involved in this production, it is, of course, using Airtable. All right, we got 10 people in the audience. It's pretty good. I think we got some pretty good participation. Yes, this is my favorite because sometimes they don't give it in that heightened way. They just do poop joke 1, poop joke 2, poop joke 3, and I'm like, you got to explain it properly. Yeah, the rule of threes. All right, the 3 contributing factors to our last incident were deprecation, asks from the go-to-market team, and YOLO commits, or downloading cat gifs, uploading everything to Docker, or YOLO. This is a tough one. They're not all that different. So we'll see. This could be
I just want to mention as we step through this that I think it's hilarious every time I do this to pander to the audience when that doesn't help. They don't know that it was mine, right?
well, right?
So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
you need to pander in the contents.
yeah.
Like, yeah, it's you. Oh, the audience is gonna decide it.
Oh man.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh wow.
Close.
Wow.
Speaker.
See? Yeah. All right. 3 things you always forget when you're writing tests. Does it work locally? Test and prod using live traffic on Cyber Monday, or wait, tests? 3 things I always forget when writing tests is that tests exist.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
tests.
Yes. Oh, those things. Geez.
Those things. Very nice.
Yeah. And the 3 best ways to make money with DevOps: build a tool, repackage someone else's tool, or consult on a Docker deprecation,
Oh,
or your YAML
Wow.
consult, being a Git repo storage admin, or a CTO of places.
Oh.
no, it stopped loading. No.
Repackage someone else's tool.
Yes. Good, we made Ken cry a little. Then this is amazing.
I see you've worked with open source too.
And the audience again is a
split.
decider, and it goes
Oh.
to Eric. All right.
Nice.
It was the
And we have
repackaging
next.
the tool that got me.
Yeah. Top 3 ways
That's
to end
what
up in
did
my
it.
spam folder. Don't pander to the audience. Don't rage quit. Don't pander to the audience. Or sending to your dead name. Just sending the 11th ping. We offer pre-IPO stock. Yeah, some of these, like the 3rd or 4th follow-up from the LinkedIn mail, they
Just
get
following up.
a little needy, right? A little bit like just checking. I know we're all real busy, but you're like, yeah. One of these times I'm going to reply to one of them when it's like the 11th one and be like, oh, thank God you sent this.
Yeah.
And then immediately blacklist that email address. So I don't
Once again, audience, you have made the correct choice.
Okay,
quitting Trip.
I want
need
to know that story.
Yeah, we need to hear how you quit via dad joke. Also, if there's anybody who would do that, I feel like it would be Trip.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
let's see who. And Shnika just sort of
Of course.
sailed through
Nice.
it. No
Woo, woo,
questions. No questions. We've got, I think it'll show us in a second, maybe some of the more populars. So again, the top answer.
Just further proving that,
Yay.
that pandering
Yeah.
I
wins
just
every
want to
time.
say that I'll be celebrating by forgetting where I came from and who put me here.
Well, we do have one whole other game to go, so I'm going to go ahead and players. I'm going to share you the drawful game so you can start joining. And what's happening here, audience, as they kind of join in. This time, I will remember to show you the screen of the game. Not halfway through. You are going to have to rejoin the audience, by the way. Again, you can go ahead and do that. I think you can click on the audience kit and join the audience. Yeah, as Ken says, Aaron, heads up. So players, 2 people are.
Sorry,
not-
I messed it up. I'll get there. Forgive
Okay, no. I just wanted to, because as soon as the 8th person is eighth person.
I'm so
It's
sorry,
perfect.
audience, for being a little slow to join. Obviously, you're the most important people in the game. I don't want to slow things down for you.
Pander.
I always think it's really fun for the folks to be able to see that as they're driving. So it's a little preview of what's to come as our players draw their own little self-portrait. So a couple things for you to know as the audience, if you haven't seen this before. Players are all we're only going to play one round of this, so they get one shot. And they're going to get a prompt to draw, and it's going to be DevOps themed. So, for example, it might be in regular drawful, it might be, a cow on the moon. But here it might be Kubernetes on the moon. That is not a prompt in tonight's game, I don't think.
Tonight?
Can anyone join if not on video? You can join the audience. You won't know what you're voting for necessarily if you aren't watching the.
How do I draw this?
So anyway, so the players are all drawing their prompt, and then they're going to have to of a picture that would have that title. And the thing to know is they get no erase. Wow, someone drew real fast, so that'll be fun. And and then what will happen is with each of the drawings, all the other players are going to put in a prompt that might be the right answer to try to trick people. And then we progress. It'll all make a ton of sense. And as we always like to say, Pictionary rules apply, so they can't write words that are in the title or that would be a dead giveaway. And as always, if it feels like cheating, it probably is. So for those of you, while this is happening, if you're curious, so we asked Trip like how they quit via dad joke, and said, I used to say a dad joke at almost every stand-up. I love doing my delivery so deadpan that they didn't see it coming. This came back on the last day. I was like, I put in my notice and my last day will be X. And it was like, what? This is a joke, right? No, I'm sorry, and that's not even the worst part. Wait, what? Well, last night I accidentally swallowed a bunch of Scrabble tiles, so my next poop might spell disaster. Okay, you can go now. That seems
Trip, I've decided that you're my favorite person. That is like the best resignation I have ever heard of. So
I don't know. I said in my talk for this conference, and Trip said, there's one little thing I would have changed about this, and I'll never forgive them ever again. I don't want feedback. I just want to be told I'm great. So take that as feedback, I suppose.
pander. Pandering? Maybe?
And how much time do we have left?
Circle.
You have as if you look at the
30
little
30 seconds.
oh yeah, it does say 30 seconds. Perfect timing to ask that question. Those little
on
inchworming
purpose.
pencils until they're done.
Wait, I only got to draw one thing.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
you're only
first
doing one.
You only get
do
one.
It's fine.
There's only
I thought you
one
said
round
it
of
would be a second
drawful.
drawing. You said it specifically. But that's hey.
I think if there's
fine.
fewer
Well,
people.
you
Oh, no,
said
no,
your
I
second
think I
drawing, you did your
specifically said
portrait.
you only get one.
Well, you know,
You
you
know
do
what?
your portrait. That's a drawing.
We're
And
just
then
submitting
you
it.
do-
Oh,
A lifetime of mental and physical self-abuse may have hurt myself a bit.
Oh, dear.
okay. So this first
Here we
drawing,
go.
what is it? So, oh, that's a very pretty little drawing.
Wow.
So now players are
Okay,
going to
who's
put
the
in
artist?
what they think, like not what necessarily what you think it is, but a suggestion that other people might believe is accurate. Like this makes a whole lot of sense after the first one. Also, everybody seems to understand this game. I seem to think like I over-explain them. Like everyone's like, yeah, we figured it out, Maddie. It ain't hard. Like there's lots of games like this. So the fun thing I did in this one too is I actually put in more prompts than we need. So I don't know what all ones are going to come up. But I have learned to sort of stop like laughing when I see a one that's funny, because me saying, oh my God, that's hilarious, kind of gives away that that's probably not the real answer.
That's
Or
being
you can
meta.
be like Jeremy and just say it.
In
which
the
he's
meta
done
that-
as well.
that too.
for DevOps party games, people are like, you got to go up the Maddie laugh. That's the pro strat.
No pun intended, the post strat.
Ah, so many are the same.
Bonfire of the Kirakudi.
Now, the one thing that will happen as well is not only will you vote for the one that you think is the right answer, you can give likes for the ones that you thought were the best. So if this was a ranked game, likes count just as much as winning. So one strategy is to actually just play for lols and not for trickery. If you can do both, then you are probably Cat Cosgrove. The Kubernetes logging status, okay? But that's not it.
Nice.
Also, because Kubernetes was spelled wrong.
Too real though.
That's a pro tip. Is chances are pretty good that I don't put in a typo. So, which was always the cheater when I play.
Pro strats.
Yeah,
Deep on
when I
the-
play with
Wow,
my kids.
which one is this?
Yeah, wow, this is a hard
Tinder,
but for
for SRE.
SREs.
I like
Well,
it.
that one's hard because I know that I put
This is-
in this is
this is-
fine, and
this feels
someone said,
like-
"Oh, it's too close." I'm like, oh,
That's what I did too.
I know.
But it means no. It means it's also too
Someone else
close
also
to what
entered it,
someone
yeah.
else said. It
I
doesn't mean
know,
it's
I
too close
know.
to the yeah. Oh, this is good. 'Cause I know what this one is. Oh, I'm really okay. Y'all are doing this is some of our better artwork. Some of these may turn into t-shirts. I'm telling you, Tinder for SRE may turn into a t-shirt.
It might need to.
It might need to, yeah.
Regular Twitter not challenging enough for you? Try Twitter for SRE.
Oh, hey, speaking of which, can either I'm anybody, but primarily looking at Laura or Aaron, because they'll know what I'm talking about. At the end of this, I forgot. It doesn't matter for Quiplash because it's not ranked, but can you grab the link, the game link?
I
already
grabbed
grabbed
it,
it.
Maddie.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I
can drop it in our chat.
Quiplash.
Perfect. Yeah. Quiplash. And LinkedIn. Drawful. Drawful is the one I really need. Okay. Oh my god.
Oh, this is great. This is hilarious.
Man, so many good answers.
So close.
Wait.
And here are your picks.
All right, who was it? Yes,
Nice.
I stole some points.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was a really good one.
They
That was
got him.
good.
Twitter Ops is pretty good.
Ladies and gentlemen, they got him.
Nice.
Well played.
That's what it was.
Yeah. Wow, yeah.
Oh,
I really
that
like
was
that though. That's so good.
I had to pick
Like the
between
sweating.
Kubernetes and Kubernetes Goose. I was like,
Yeah, it's-
which
and
one
then,
do
like,
I pick?
The juggling the containers, the goose is sweating. That's amazing.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I just had the 2 buttons problem and picked the wrong one. Oh, now you're just describing my computer running Slack.
Yeah, this is
Oh, right, I have to write the answers.
yeah.
That's a free one for anybody who wants it.
So I was saying,
we've
like,
all seen those logs before.
yeah,
Panic, 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 panic.
playing drawful, like guessing ones like this in Jackbox is always kind of a little unfair. When I was like, my kids are gotten better, but especially a couple years ago when they were much younger, because they were easy to pick out because they wouldn't know how to spell the word right. They'd have spelling mistakes and stuff. And but then they've started to figure that out even better. But then the other thing I discovered about hosting DevOps party games is, for a while it was hard for me to then just go play Jackbox with my family and not feel like I had to give color commentary and play by play, because I'm used to, here's Drawful, let's talk about it.
Ooh.
100%.
Ooh.
Ooh. Oh, this is hard. This one's a hard one.
These
but
are
they are
all
so
very good.
I am going to tell you right now, I don't remember which of these is the right answer. So when I'm
They're so
observing
good.
ones that I enjoy, they are all quite possible. 100% errors is... The third Chrome tab is pretty good.
I really like the third Chrome tab.
That one is a good one.
I think I remember what the right answer is for this one. But burn down chart, literal burn down chart. It's just, yeah. And that's
That
actually
was
my,
good. Good
my
job.
burn down charts
was
do
good.
go in that
Very good,
direction. They don't go down, they go up.
Oh, no.
Very nice.
Thank you,
Very
audience.
nice.
But I think this is the right answer, if I recall correctly. Yes.
Hey, good job.
But
Wow.
someone who pulled all of them. That was it burn down chart? Yeah. That was a big
Yeah.
that's a big
That
ups
was a
there,
good
Eric.
one.
But Aaron is
You
still
just hopped up too. Nice job.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What is it?
Let's take a look at our next drawing.
Okay. This is one where I feel like maybe people think I love to see what people come up with as the fake prompts.
Oh man.
Audience, what do you think? Get some suggestions in here. You know,
Part of being in the chat is heckling us, so.
oh, the
I think that's
heckling
part of
is
the fun.
happening. I think so. Well, I think they're more heckling
Well, where is the heckling happening?
each other.
Oh,
I think
here
they're
we go.
heckling each other.
Ah.
Coin.
I guess I should have
Nice.
written that one in as my answer.
You gave somebody an answer.
Okay, let's see.
Here are your choices.
I feel like there is one of these in here which actually is a prompt, but different. So I don't think it's that one. I was trying to figure. Yeah. So I don't. Nope. The thing is, I think this is a pretty good drawing, except that there's too many that are similar. And so, you know, that's probably doing too good of a drawing sometimes screws you up
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
then a lot of people put in suggestions that are really close.
Just 8
And-
variations on the same 2 words.
Yeah, and then and invariably the actual one doesn't get any votes, but all the ones that are punctuated slightly different or pluralized differently. I like anti-coin though.
That was a good one.
That gets something. That's gonna get a bonus like for me. There we go.
Yes.
Copy left. Yeah.
Nice.
See, the game I'm playing is always to get the biggest thumbs up at the end. That's really
Right. Well, I'm telling you, in a thought leaderboard chase, it's a valid.
Yes.
Ooh, I got it.
Wahaha. I did not get any of the audience though. Nice.
Let's see. What do we have
Down
next
to
here?
third. Wow, audience.
This is so close.
Oh,
That's
I'm so
amazing.
happy. I'm so happy this happened this way. Oh, yes. So the question in the chat is DevOps Party Games not specifically related to DevOps Days or DevOps Days Portland? No, actually, DevOps Party Games is a entity unto itself, such as it is. We started doing this a little bit over a year ago in the beginning of the Panera. And we've gone through a couple different iterations, but generally it's about once a month. If you go to DevOpsPartyGames.com, you can see upcoming episodes, which you won't see any right now because I haven't put them up there yet. But if you sign up for our mailing list, you will also not get emails from me telling you about them, but maybe you might. Following the hashtag DevOps Party Games, we'll let you know about that. We do them occasionally with conferences like this. We tend to, if you're listening and paying attention and you're like, I do this like, for pay conference kind of thing. Like we tend to not do them for rendery things or whatnot. DevOps Loop is an exception. We will make exceptions, but if you're doing a community oriented conference and you'd like DevOps Party Games to be a part of it, it's almost a given that we'll do it, except for when we don't, which is really about our availability. And again, if you want to take a look at previous episodes, I just put a link in the chat. It's super fun. We have a good time with it. And we're in our third season of DevOps Party Games.
I wish I'd had the perspective to think of my way better answer, which is me every time I even remember that Google Reader existed.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. They're like, oh, do you want to write something for Google Cloud Functions this week? I'm like, no. Google Reader still has shooters out there, and I'm one of them.
Nice one.
Nice, Alexis. Nice.
No G Cloud.
No G-Cloud.
Don't Google that.
Don't Google
I mean
that, and I mean it.
That's like that might
There
be a
you
shirt.
go.
That's a
Wow,
shirt. I
audience
think. Yeah.
favorite.
Nice audience.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah.
No keys. We would never say that in DevOps.
Got something. I know.
In fact, actually, I'm wearing my honk shirt. And it's like, this is why I laughed in the last one when I saw the without spaces. I was like, I think
This is why I used DuckDuckGo as my answer in the last one. I thought that somehow I'd left off the little tick in my G.
Oh. Okay, what do we got next here? Clicky clacky. I don't even have the slightest recollection of what this one could be. Oh, hey, now my inbound aircraft is delayed. I get to be told that 7 times.
Nice. You'll have to let us know like when eventually it stops, because then it won't be delayed, and then you'll get more notifications that tell you that it isn't delayed. Well, you get more notifications that tell you that it is delayed. That happened to me last time. It was great.
I will say I am pleased that my lounge pass does not expire till the end of October, because now that I'm finding out that things are delayed. Closed source captioning.
Mechanical keyboard captioning. Nice.
Well, it's okay to write the words. So you can write words as long as they're not the words in the answer, or something like that. It could be adding to it. Oh my god! This is so good. Oh, you all are the best.
I don't think anyone needs to be told you have a mechanical keyboard.
But people
That's not going to
like,
stop anyone
how do you
from
know?
trying to tell you about it.
Oh, there's a good. Well, I was going to say it's sort of like, how do you know somebody's into CrossFit? They'll tell you. How do you know somebody has a mechanical keyboard? It will tell you. They also
It will tell you, and then they will tell you.
And then they will tell you all about it. Yes.
There's a lot of us that get asked to mute when typing. It happens a lot.
Handmade
I
mechanical
really want to know what
keyboard.
this is. Yeah.
I'm actually. Oh, now I remember what it is.
Yes.
This is an interesting.
I didn't know how to draw that.
We've had this prompt before, and I feel like it's always a little challenging.
It's a little bit too abstract, I think.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I know what this one is.
And then I think it'll make
the music
sense.
notes did it.
Yeah, when
the
you
music
see
notes
it,
did it for me, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that's what it is.
Captain Keyboard Arudo. This is fun.
That's great.
This is the best, though. I want to make a T-shirt
Let
that
me
says,
sing
"Let me
you
tell
the
you
song
about
of my
my
people.
I just want a T-shirt that just says that. That just says, "Let me tell you about my mechanical keyboard" with no picture. But yes, it
I
is
thought
tech.
so.
Yes, one friend.
TikTok
Yes.
videos.
I was trying so hard.
close.
It's like what's in every TikTok.
You just
tech
draw
video
a
I've seen?
picture
Well,
of Cassidy.
I've seen one, and it was Cassidy. So here's a mechanical
Yeah.
keyboard and some music notes.
Okay, what is
Ooh,
it?
nice
Oh, I
try.
know what this one is now. I remember it. This was a weird one too. What is it? Freaking out on this. So what this reminds me of a little bit when you're talking about why DevOps Party Games came to be. So the fun thing is that apparently hosting online game shows about tech is now my brand. Like I had hoped it was going to be, you know, resilience engineering or learning from incidents or infrastructure as code, but no, I'm known for this bullshit. So I also do host another game for the CNCF called CNCF Face Off, which will be streaming our semifinal round on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. If you go to cncf.tv, you know, that'll be the thing and stuff. And then the reason I thought about it is we are actually awarding the CNCF Cup, CNCF Face-Off Cup. It will be awarded at KubeCon. So
I was so close to being in those semifinals. I'm so bummed. Chalice
Twitter
of
here.
Fallen on-call heroes. That's amazing.
these are great.
They are hilarious. I love being able to award bonus likes. So as a participant,
Yes,
you get to have many extra checkboxes, and I'm like, yes.
Yes, if you're
I
in the
love that it's
audience,
so
you only
many.
get one. If you're on the audience, you only get one. If you're a player,
Oh,
you get
Eric,
Oh,
you got
Eric,
us.
nailed it.
You got
Wow,
us.
Eric.
Oh,
You truly are the Lord of Deception.
yes. Very nice.
Congratulations.
I really want to know what the
Nice.
answer is now.
Yeah.
If you notice a vague beeping in the background, my housemate has attention deficit disorder and
Nice.
too many Google Home devices. So they'll set an alarm, set like a 30-minute timer, and then about 7
Oh.
things go off.
That was bad.
What was the answer?
It was DevOps participation trophy.
trophy.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
I had the
Matt.
same reaction. It was
All
good.
right, Maddie, that's fine.
I don't think I wrote
What?
that one. I don't think I wrote that one.
Now listen, everyone, it's all right if
Thanks,
this one is
Jerome.
too good, and we just want to call it now, and say, wow, great work, Nika. We get it, obviously, immediately. I'm sorry, did I kill the vibe? I'm not supposed to say it. This is my terrible drawing.
No, I was just making a note to myself about the T-shirt in the admin channel of the DPG Discord. Which, by the way, if you want to join another Discord, we have
No,
one
the
for the.
t-shirt, not this one.
Yes.
I was just deep in thought trying to figure out how to caption this from drawing. So
Yeah, I'm.
nice.
Oh, I know what it is.
I know what this one is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So many good ones though.
Some of these are better. Like the best part about doing this too is then after we do an
Yeah.
episode, I always go back through the recording, and a lot of these prompts that weren't the real answer find themselves becoming real prompts later. Because
Do you
there's a lot-
really? That's
Oh yeah.
great.
Oh, there's definitely repeat. Like we don't do it as often as I would like us to, because we always talk about it. We're like, oh my god, we have to remember to do that, and then usually it just means it's Dan that does it. And I feel like Dan dropped off because he hasn't been talking shit in the chat. So, yes, always so many inside jokes I can't keep up. Yes, that is a phenomenal explanation or description of DevOps Party Games.
Yep, that's about right.
Hey!
Yay! Good job.
looks
did it,
like your
everyone.
terrible attempt worked.
was the.
But is that like the state of the league?
That's
But
it.
like-
That's it.
Oh, let's see who we got. And our champion.
I think that last one is going to put you there.
Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? Wow.
Close.
Oh!
But
last
let's
round.
see who was the most
Yeah.
popular. The
I
most
mean,
liked
oh,
was also. Nope. Also,
Yeah, it
oh
was.
my god.
So close.
You
I
swept
won.
the whole thing.
Edging
Nice
it
job.
Yes. I would
Wow.
say at this point, Noshnika is very angry that this is an unranked game because this would
No,
be.
I don't want to be on Cat's radar. That's the thing. I don't want to be
all-
on Cat's radar.
So
You just
Laura,
want to be
I
you
don't
want to be a
wanna be
distant
down.
second. That's really the goal. Just be
Yeah,
a distant
my
second.
Wi-Fi
Okay.
doesn't even have password on it. I don't even mess with that. That's okay.
I mean, all I'm saying is knowing how the thought leaderboard scoring happens, like sweeping like that, is very impactful. That's like,
Yeah,
that would skyrocket you up there. So
maybe you put me on, but you know what? Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? Hey,
hey, yes, we continually do
You know what?
things. So
Audience, remember, we love you.
this was fantastic. So so this was awesome. So I want to thank everybody who participated, both as our players, as our audience members. A huge shout out and much love to the DevOps Days Portland organizers. As someone who has organized DevOps Days for many, many years and also has insight into all of them, it is an amazing amount of work to pull this off and under the best of times. Portland always does a banger job, and this is continuing to happen. So super great. There's still a little bit more going on. I hear that the Ignite talks are next, and some jackass has the last one and has an Ignite about Parks and Rec and DevOps. So tune in for that. I don't know, some jerk. And good times. Again, you can always find us on Twitter at DevOps Party Game. We never tweet from there, so instead check out the DevOps Party Games hashtag. Follow me at Matt Stratton. I tweet about this stuff a lot, and we'll see you on the internets.